So let's talk about one of our favorite bands, our favorite current bands right now. Mm-hmm. Getting bigger. They started to get bigger in the last couple of years, which is
open for
kind
Maiden.
Open for Maiden. It's kind of bittersweet because we went from being front row every single show to now we're up in the stands and it's kind of far away. So it's you like to see the band succeed. We're happy for them, but then for us who have been there since the beginning, especially you and Leather Jacket Sean, who've really been there from the beginning, you guys, it's a little disappointing. But Ghost, or what they originally called Ghost BC.
Yeah,
stupid name.
Well, that was for legal
reasons. I know. Because there was already, was it hip-hop artist, I think it was called Ghost or something.
Yeah.
But now I think legally they can go by Ghost in the United States, I believe.
Yes, they can.
So they're coming out, they just announced a new live album.
They did. It's called Ceremony and Devotion.
Okay.
And it is a live album. I think it was a premature release, or announcement, I should say. Because what happened was the album artwork got leaked. And that was everywhere.
I see. Okay.
And it's actually really cool album artwork. You can find it now because it's everywhere. But I don't believe they were ready to announce it because it's been kind of under wraps. And then once the artwork kind of got leaked, which I know they're pissed about, then all of a sudden on all of their socials, there's this kind of a quick promo about it. And it looks like they kind of threw it together kind of quick. So I think they the cat's out of the bag. We might as well just jump on this, and that's what they did. But I am excited. It's going to be a live album. I'm not sure if it's going to be a double live album. It might be.
We're still waiting on some of the details about it, right?
We're still waiting on the details. They just announced,
that a live album is coming. That's a live
album. Yep.
Do we have a release date?
No, not
really.
Not
the general time. Okay,
not yet.
Now, is this the beginning of a real album coming out, kind of thing? Just kind of keep the fans satiated and
I think,
pleased?
Well, yeah, it could be that, or it just could be the record label wanting to put out a live album. Sometimes they do things like that. Or they want to just put something in between so people don't forget, which Ghost fans won't. We're all anticipating Papa 4. But yeah, it could just be, that they're just trying to keep fans engaged and, keep the momentum going.
So now we are going to have Papa 4. We saw that.
We are
Papa
Papa
3
4.
was pulled off stage by Papa 0.
Yes.
Who's the oldest Papa.
Yes.
Looks like he's about to croak.
Yes.
He pulls Papa 3 off the stage, just wasn't happy with what he was doing anymore.
Yep.
Decides Papa 4, it's time for them to come in. Mm-hmm. Time for his reign.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. And as Ghost fans, it's good to see because for a while there we were kind of scared that there might not be a Ghost anymore.
Yeah, with all they've been going through some litigations. And none of this makes sense unless you're Ghost fans, but if you are a Ghost fan, you're totally into all of this. But there are some litigation. Some of the Nameless Ghouls sued Papa.
And the Nameless Ghouls are the other band members.
The other band members.
Papa is the lead singer.
Papa is the lead singer, and they were suing him. Even though what I think happened, and I don't know if any of this is true. I think originally in the first album, Papa and this other guy, they pretty much wrote all the songs.
Who went by Alpha, or he was Omega. He was Omega.
He was Omega. They wrote all the songs together, and I think they just hired these other guys as musicians. And of course, back then, in the first album, no one thought this was going to blow up.
Right.
Didn't think anything of it. And I think after the second album, I think they still had these same hired musicians, and it blew up. I think they were kind of upset with their original agreement, which was probably not a lot of money. And I think they were just suing them for more money. That's just my thought. I don't know if that's true. I mean, we won't know until if it even goes to court. I hope it doesn't. I hope they just settle.
There were a lot of rumors flying around that could be the end of Ghost.
Yeah.
It came out. So
yeah.
If you were a Ghost fan, you didn't know who was in the band.
Yeah, you didn't know the names, except that everybody kind of had an idea
guessed
who Papa, the lead singer, was, but no one knew who other. Yeah, no one knew for a fact, and no one knew who the Nameless Ghouls were.
And then all these legal issues brought out because legally they had to start using their real names. The lawsuit got out across the internet. We learned for a fact who was in the band.
Yeah, when the band outed themselves too.
Right.
Except for Omega, he just kind of got brushed into it, and he's like, whatever.
Yeah, which he's not even in.
Well, he might be on the new album.
Oh, he's bringing him back.
He might be. And he wasn't on the lawsuit. Omega was never on the lawsuit.
Was he the one that was complaining in that other video, or was that Alpha? We saw the one video where he was kind of complaining about Ghost.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think that was him.
I think that was Alpha.
That might have been Alpha. Yeah, I think that was Alpha. That wasn't Omega. Because Omega's going to be... He may be on the next album.
That's good.
Which would be fantastic, because he was one of my favorites.
That's good. So, and when all is kind of said and done, we're very happy that Ghost is still alive and kicking. Now, explain how you got into Ghost. How did you discover Ghost? Because
they're so cool.
I mean, they're our band right now.
Greatest band.
As much as we love some of these other bands out right now, they are our band. When they're around,
awesome.
We go. I mean, you've been to a couple more shows than me because I took a while to get into them because I was a little stubborn.
Yeah, he thought they were like the black metal bands that like to burn down churches.
I did. I mean, they were from Sweden, which is where those bands come from. The guy dressed up as a satanic pope.
Yeah, and I told him they're not like that. It's fake. It's a performance. Really,
it's a performance.
It's
pretty akin to Kiss almost. I mean,
yeah, they're like Kiss but cooler.
I don't know. You can't get much cooler than Kiss, but
yeah, you can.
They are pretty cool. So I was a little stubborn, but so you've seen a couple more shows, but I think I've seen like 5.
Yeah.
In their short life.
Yeah.
You've seen probably 6 or 7, maybe even up to 8, possibly. Yeah. So how did you get into them?
We went to the Orion Festival, me, Leather Jacket, Sean, and another friend of ours. He actually heard it from his guitarist, though. He's like, oh, you should check out this band Ghost when you're there. So we're like, all right. So we're like way over. I think we were eating lunch. We were by the lunch areas, or there were food stands. And we see this band, and they kind of look like the Ku Klux Klan from like really far away, but they're like wearing, they're like wearing these white robes, and we're like, oh, that must be Ghost because they're wearing these white robes. So let's go check them out. And at that point in the festival, you could go like right up to the stage. Like after a certain point, only like Metallica fan club members could get in, like close to the stage. So we were literally right up front watching this band, and I remember thinking like, this is cool, but I'm not sure. And I was like, oh, these guys are kind of cool. And they were doing they were doing the whole first album, and they also did like the Beatles' Here Comes the Sun cover, which was supposed to be like Here Comes the Devil's Son, and they turned it into like this this satanic thing. And they were so cool. They were just so cool. And after that, we just got into them, and we saw them there, and the next time they came to New York, me and Leather Jacket Sean, I think we went twice to see them. Then the new album came out, or not, the second album came out, and I was like, oh, these guys are so cool. And then I finally got Kevin involved. Finally, by the time the third album was released, I finally got Kevin on board.
Yeah, because Year Zero is off the second album, right?
Yes.
That's the song that got me into. So we were... Melissa kept, Kevin, you gotta listen to Ghost, And I'm like, no, I'm not listening to it, Melissa. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this satanic stuff that's gonna melt my brain and God's gonna strike me down with a thunderbolt. I'm not doing it. So we were driving, we actually took a trip to Florida, and we all kind of picked some music, and we're in the car.
I put on Ghost.
Yep. We all made like a little playlist for in the car, because it was a 4-hour drive from Fort Lauderdale and Key West. So 4 of us in the car, we each made an hour playlist. Melissa's playlist comes up. Typical Aerosmith, all that stuff. Then this song comes on, and it starts with, Beelzebub and Asmodeus and Satan, and it goes into this awesome, mean guitar riff. Like, I love that guitar riff in that song.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And I'm like, what the hell is this? And I'm like, this is awesome. Like, this is really good. And Melissa's like, this is that band Ghost. I was like, no, it's not. And she's like, it is. So I was like, okay, well, I gotta admit, this is pretty good. All right, Melissa, when we get back home, you can play some for me. I'll check them out. Because Melissa was, like, in love with these guys.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Which now I can see why, because they are awesome. So then I started listening to them, realized the act was kind of an act. It was just an act. It's they're not real Satanists who want to murder people. And
well, the first album, they
sacrifice babies and stuff.
The first album, they're actually talking about Satan and all their lyrics. The second one, it could be alluded to it, and it might not. And by the third one, it's just you think they're talking about Satan, but they're actually talking about other stuff. They're just so good in like crafting their music to make you think like, oh yeah, they're talking about the devil, but they're really not. Like he's talking about his brother.
One talks about his brother, or one talks about money. One song's about
like that.
Female, power kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's not all Satan. They're good. They're good stuff. I've actually made some CDs for some people, and everyone always comes back and says, "Wow, these is like really cool."
Yeah.
So we got into them. And then we had one of the coolest experiences you could probably ever have with a band.
And we'll never get again.
Unfortunately, will never happen again, which is what makes it so kind of unique and cool. So we went to Rough Trade in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. They were doing a record signing for the third album.
Yep, okay, Meliora.
Right, the last one, Meliora. Melissa says, you want to go? I was like, hell yeah, I want to go. So they were also doing a acoustic
live set,
kind of performance set. Not anything huge or long, maybe like half an hour, 40 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
So we waited online for
got up
hours.
We
got up early all the way to Brooklyn, which is a far ride for us, especially that early in the morning. They come in, and I think did they sign the records first, or they did the music first?
They did the music
first, right? So we waited online for that, and originally they were. And we met a couple other people who we became a little friendly with. We talked to, while we were waiting online, because Ghost fans are pretty nice people. I've seen
all
so
metal
far.
fans are really nice.
Metal fans are really nice. It's really funny because people always have the picture of metal fans punching each other in the face, and
they're actually like the nicest people, nicest concerts I've ever.
It's actually kind of rare that that's only if you really get involved in those pits. But but otherwise, metal people are generally pretty nice. A lot nicer than rock people. I'll say that.
I mean, definitely.
We went to Jane's Addiction, and that was one of the worst experiences of our lives down in stupid Asbury Park.
Yep.
Anyway. So we waited in line. So originally, for some reason, me and one of the other people we were hanging out with, they weren't going to let us in. I forget why.
Oh, because they decided last minute that you had to go to the store, buy the album, and get a wristband. And we didn't know that. So we showed up thinking, if we got there first, we can just go in, and it didn't work that way. So we had to go and get wristbands, and luckily...
You and Leather Jacket Sean were able to get them?
Yeah.
And I wasn't.
You weren't, but you were able to last second. They were really nice, and they gave him
so they were like,
a wristband.
Me and this other gentleman, they're like, you guys are going to have to, unfortunately, you can get your record signed and meet them, which is still awesome. I was still excited about
cool.
that. But you're not going to be able to see the set. And I was like, oh my God, Leather Jacket Sean and Melissa are going to come out, and they're going to be bragging how great it was, and I'm not going to know what that experience was. So luckily the lady behind the register, at first she was like, oh, you guys can stand over here, but you guys can be like first in line to meet them. And we were like, okay, at least that's kind of cool. And she goes, you know what? We got a couple wristbands here for you guys. You guys seem like you're big fans. Nice. Here you go, we'll let you in. So we jump back in the line. Everyone's happy that we're back. And then we got like front row for that.
Front row, for that performance.
I think Leather Jacket Sean actually, because then they ended up handing out some instruments. They gave a kazoo to somebody. Yeah. They gave maracas, I think, to somebody. Yeah. They gave a cowbell to somebody else. And I think the other gentleman I was with that wasn't originally going to get in, I think he got something. I think Sean got the maracas, or he got something. So we actually got to take part kind of in the concert. And if you watch it on YouTube, there's one guy who was there who goes around interviewing, kind of has like his own little YouTube website. Mm. First, you see us chanting Satan.
Yes.
While we're waiting on the line. That's us in the YouTube video.
Yep.
If you look at this up. And then you can pretty much see us. Actually, sometimes I think you can even hear us singing. Front row. You can see like the back of my tiny head. And Sean.
I'm like in the crowd. Can't
fist pumping, going all crazy. Melissa's too short, unfortunately. You probably don't see her. She's like hitting by massive amounts of people.
Yeah.
But that was one of the coolest experiences.
It was really cool.
We got to meet them. They were really nice.
Yeah.
So that was one of the coolest experiences we're ever going to have with a band. Probably never happen again with any other band. Because now we're getting to the age where it's kind of tough to get into newer bands now. When you start getting older, you kind of you listen to the things you've always kind of listened to. And
yeah, I guess so. I guess it's, yeah.
You don't do the whole thing that when you did in your 20s or even teenagers where you go out and wait in lines to meet these people and stuff like that.
Yeah, it depends on who it is. I don't know if I'll keep doing that anymore, but we'll see. It depends on who it is.
Exactly. So now the last concert we went to see them, they opened for Iron Maiden. They're getting bigger. Their shows are getting more elaborate, but we were all the way up in the stands, like I said before in the beginning.
And all the Maiden fans were lame, and they weren't getting into it. It was so annoying.
It wasn't, because all the shows we've been to have been Ghost fans.
Yeah.
So everyone on their feet, singing along, loud, into it. this was the first show we've ever been to where the
No one
main
cared.
people are not Ghost fans. They're there for
Yeah.
Maiden. And Maiden